full disclosure Thursday, and it's at the end of February 2021. Wow, we're 2 months into this epic year already, and what a year! What a difference every week is to the week we previously experienced. It's
Hmm.
it's uh, it's turning out to be quite the year. So, Sean, tell us what is the world of lending? What's going on?
Rates are going up. We're back to where we were pre-pandemic in just 2 weeks. Today was
Wow.
not a good day for rates at all. Um, the logic I'll apply to that is one, the two things that caused rates to go down: coronavirus, obviously, and then I'd say presidential elections would encompass the riots and the protests and everything else we saw last year, all the uncertainty that was created. Well, both of those things, coronavirus kind of mellowed out. Things are opening again. Vaccines making its way around. We know who our president is. So the issues that created are starting to subside. I've been saying that for a few weeks now. But we have a $1.9 trillion stimulus plan coming. And that is, if you print more money, you devalue the dollar. And when the value of the dollar goes up, the cost of the money has to go up too. So I think those three things together are why we're seeing rates go from the absolute lowest things we've seen to we're basically up 0.5% in 2 weeks. So still great,
So
still great.
still
Doesn't
great.
mean
Like, because that's
don't buy like,
we're talking 3.25 kind of there as an
ish. Yeah,
average. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So
So
that's
you're still
Still
better than
lower
you
than two
were.
years ago.
Yeah, but what does our human nature do? Our human nature always focuses on, I'm used to hearing twos and now I'm hearing threes. So rates are terrible. I'm not buying a house. I'm not refinancing. I'm not anything. Um, and that's just what we do. So it's still good, but the procrastinators are kind of regretting it a little bit. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
yeah, interesting.
That'll be,
And
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that does start to like make its way down to the buyer pool here and the competition that we're seeing in the market. Just like
Well,
the sheer number of offers.
I think it just moves the offers. So I already have clients. So anybody who's pre-approved and hasn't gotten their pre-approval updated in the last 2 weeks, your pre-approval needs to be updated, period. But what it's like, I kind of compare it to like wrestling. So every wrestler cuts weight, and you
should
cut weight,
I
you're
should I
wrestling.
take off my
Let's
clothes
see it,
here?
Eddie.
Yeah.
Let's see it. But you're wrestling the same person as if you didn't cut weight, right? So if interest rates went down to here, and because of those rates, I can afford a house for $1 million, and now interest rates went up, so now I can afford 950. That same group of people moves, right? So I don't think we see less offers. Where the offers are may change slightly. But the other thing I look at is some people are like, oh, values are going to go down. Rates went up, values are going to go down. I had a client get accepted last week. There was 71 offers. So let's just say demand goes down by 50%. There's still 35 offers on that same house. So there's just such a lack of inventory that it just doesn't matter. And you're still getting ridiculously low rates. Just, we can throw our temper tantrums about how we wanted to be lower, but we had like 6 months to work on it. So it is what it is. But that's just the big change. It's happening faster than well, it's not happening faster than I expected it to. I just didn't know it was going to take a year for us to get there, and that we would get down that or get back up that fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that's the world of lending.
Yeah. And so there's an element that's a good point where, when you have such high demand, it will cut maybe some of that demand or hold it back a little bit, or make it, somebody who will be like wanting to push it that extra little bit wants to kind of maybe hold back a little bit. So the expansion on pricing that we're seeing on single families will kind of slightly change. But the other issue that comes into play here is on our end, supply. And supply is, for single families, is kind of dismal.
Yeah.
And I've been on more calls and conversations with different agents across the US. And this inventory squeeze is not just our market, it is markets across the US. Like, it's extraordinary how strong demand is and how bad supply is across the boards. So that so that doesn't go away. And at the end
Right.
of the day, what happens is the person who's not as affected by that shift in the pricing is kind of, in a lot of ways, that their opportunity, the weaker buyers that they're competing against, are getting weeded out, and their opportunity is coming closer, because weaker competition has been taken out. It's like we're in the World Cup and we're getting into the quarterfinals here. So, but what do the numbers tell us, Haley? What do the numbers say?
So this week we had, I forgot about our new MLS. Bunching everything together. Give me one moment, please.
The joys. We now have a mega MLS where all the MLSs regionally are owned by the MLS boards. So the San Francisco Board of Realtors owns the San Francisco MLS. The Marin Board of Realtors owns their MLS. And it's like, different people with different objectives and different values. So nobody ever really collaborated. We had agreements where, okay, I'll allow you to log into my database if you let me log into your database. So we would have these reciprocal agreements where we could log into each other's databases, which was a pain in the butt because you'd have to log out of the San Francisco to go log into the East Bay or the Marin. And now they're all combined. We log into one database and all the data for Northern California is right there in one spot. And
yeah. So, and our data looks a little different now. So it takes me a minute. But it's pretty, we're kind of on par. We had 58 new single family homes come on the market, 17 new residential income. So that's multi-unit.
2 to 4 unit.
Yeah. Bear with me. Condos, we had 110 new condos come on the market this week and 18 new TICs. With regards to closing, we had, bear with me, 50 single family homes close. So still kind of on the 1 in, 1 out almost.
1 in, 1 out. Like that means we've a 1 day supply basically. Because, if what's coming in on the week is going out in the week, that means it comes in, it goes out.
Yeah. And we used to refer to months of inventory. Now it's days.
Now it's days.
59 condos closed. So 110 came on, 59 closed, and
how many went in contract?
7 TICs closed and 125 residential income properties closed, which I find curious. That can't be right. So
there's a couple of, that's a data glitch on the new.
In terms of going into contract or going pending, so it's a little overlappy there, but anybody who went contingent or went pending, 62 single families, it's like right on. 109 condos.
So I think that's the story in the last 2 to 3 weeks, is the return of the condo buyer. And 20
TICs, so condo and then like TIC buyers, because I think people are realizing if they're qualified to purchase a TIC, it's a lot easier to compete for a TIC than a condo still.
Yeah. And the interesting thing on some of the bigger condos, where in the city where we were losing the kind of buyer for that bigger condo because they were, hey, the reason I wanted to buy this originally was because I wanted to stay urban. I wanted to stay right in the center of all the activity. I need a bigger place, and it's San Francisco. To hell with going outside of the city. I don't want to do that. COVID comes along, that buyer is now suddenly looking at single families in the East Bay, in Marin, and these different places. And what we're seeing on some of these bigger condo listings and TICs is the boomerang buyer. They've gone out to these markets and they're like, OMG, they're like, the competition is brutal. Stuff selling for $500,000-$600,000 over the list price. And they're suddenly realizing, wow, if I just stay in the city and stick with the big condo, I can actually get really good value. And so that buyer has returned, and the numbers reflect
in force, I'd say. I mean, so anecdotally, this week we saw 27 people go for a 2-2, very basic condominium from the 90s. Hasn't been touched since the 90s in the Mission. Like, that is some crazy stuff.
I think with the boomerang concept, I think some of it is the remote work thing isn't turning out to be the remote work thing like people expected. I have a friend who bought a house in Arizona. He works for Pinterest. Pinterest paid $90 million to get out of their space, right? So it kind of seemed obvious that they would stay this way. He has to come back. So he's trying to figure out if he's going to buy a place in the city. Like, he'll keep his place in Arizona. When he's here, does he buy a 1-bedroom condo? Does he rent? He's trying to figure that out now. So I think that's part of the boomerang effect as well, is, oh, I don't get to work from home forever. So
yeah. The other scenario that's kind of interesting for, I think, surrounding markets around the city is we have a client who is I've forgotten the name. What's work? WeWork. Yes.
Oh yeah, WeWork.
WeWork, and WeWork has their numbers of the amount of people taking on space in June and July are extraordinary. A lot of companies are like, hey, we don't need all this big space. We have employees all around the area. Why not have a bit of WeWork in all the different locations? And if you live in the East Bay, go to this WeWork location. If you live over in the South Bay, go to this WeWork location. And so they're kind of, I actually think that they've said it on Wall Street that WeWork kind of is touting the fact that they're going to come out of COVID with a whole new market. And it's definitely gearing up that way. Where so, and it seems like they're probably going to go public possibly some point or later this year. So based on my readings of the tea leaves in the Wall Street Journal, if that rag is any good, but extraordinary. Any particular overbids to show, just to scare some of
we can look at some underbids too if you want.
Okay, let's do both.
That's not where we are. So
pick the
we've
sunset.
got
The sunset is my favorite. Let's go find something in sun.
Sorry about that. Okay. Where did we see that they? Oh, yes. Let's look at Central. Nope.
Not in Central.
Well, we're in the overbids.
There we go. Inner.
No. Wild. Let's see where they are. So
just
District 1 and 9. This thing was just a basic 2-bed, 2-bath condo, $975, sold for $1,320.
$1,320
square feet. So 35.
Is that the one from the 90s you were talking about earlier with the 20-something offers?
No,
that's a different one.
Went into contract this week.
That one on it. Look at the Ortega one. Look at that. That one's extraordinary. 1,295 sold for 1,705. So nearly $500,000, 400K over.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty spectacular. This is, I mean, a great street, but still these jumps are kind of
Massive.
typical at the moment.
Like,
in a
but
lot
look
of
at
places.
look at the numbers. Like sometimes we're talking overbids of 10, 15, 20%. On all of the top ones right there, you're at over 30%. So
Yeah.
how many on that is that 6, 7 on the top there for just a 2-week period that are 30% over? It's extraordinary.
7.
I'm
7.
almost willing to bet that'll continue, because when rates go up a little bit, you get the panic that, oh my gosh, it's going to go up even more. So people will start to overbid even more to try and beat perception of higher interest rates coming soon than where we're at now. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see more of this in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, extraordinary. Well,
we'll be here to tell the tale.
And there's smart ways around it. There's other ways you can find. Don't be like the sheep running at the 30% over stuff. Come talk to us, and we will guide you. We'll show you the light in the dark. Haley, when someone is looking for light, how do they find us?
They will find us at elevationrealestate.com, Elevation SF on Instagram, our Elevation Real Estate Facebook or YouTube page. We're everywhere.
And Sean, are we getting anywhere as close as being as cool online as you are?
No.
I think you guys got me beat.
We
my God.
No.
We're like old people trying to figure it out.
I just
You're like
nerd out on
surfing.
there now. I'm just the graphs and charts guy now. There's no more
Yeah.
adventure, just lender in my world.
Wow, you're stuck. You're gonna have to get a bigger van. Are you feeling the
know.
need for a bigger van for more space?
I need one for that fits my whole family, which is coming in July. New office in July.
New office in July. So pray tell, what's happening? Can I buy your old one? Can I buy this old van of yours?
It'll have like 100,000 miles on it. You don't want it.
You don't want it?
No. Yeah. So I need, where I'm sitting right now is where the second seat would go, like the back seat basically. So that'll be here, and then everything you see now will basically be the same. I'm just gonna have it further back because we love this van. We would take it everywhere if I could fit 5 people in it. So they become available again in July. Sprinter vans are like houses. You can't get them. You got to jump on it immediately. There's no bargains, no negotiations, because everybody wants one now.
You're going to a dealer in San Diego to get it.
Wherever I have to go, I will go anywhere.
There are 2 guys across the street from me in the single families across, and they both have Sprinter. I thought it was the same guy at first, and then I realized like, oh no, they both have competing Sprinter vans, and they just have like, they're all the time just pulling out like the coolest stuff. I think they're competing with each other on like who can be like more adventurous and awesome. And I'm just like, I don't even have a storage space for a bike.
It becomes your storage space.
Someday.
Yeah. Damn it. Well, that is awesome. Till next week, the adventure continues. Thank you guys. Thank you, Sean.
March.
And we're moving into March.
Yes.
At the end of the first quarter.
Holy moly.
Already at the end of the first quarter. But then, we're moving in. There's so much more exciting things can happen. 3 more quarters in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So
who knows?
More vaccines, open houses coming back. It's going to be great.
Going to be awesome. All right. Cheers.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.
Take it easy. Bye.